Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I was asked to go ahead and share what has happened to me since I've been released from prison. It's my story. It's not unique or exceptional, but it's my story. It started in May of 2016. I was lost in my addiction with methamphetamine. So I was just making all kinds of bad choices, and one of those choices landed me in prison for importation of methamphetamines. December 17th, I was sentenced by the United States of America to do 72 months in FCI, Federal Correctional Institute. January 19th, 2018 is when I began my sentence. It's also the day I decided to live abstinence from drugs and alcohol, to live sober. I'm first generation here in the United States. I really didn't know anyone from prison. None of my family members went to prison. I was like the first one to go to prison. So it was all new for all of us. And one thing that my support system that told me is that, no matter what, as long as you keep your head right and you get out of this, we're there for you. And that kind of set the tone about how I want to conduct myself when I went to prison. Because I immediately didn't like it, right? So when I got to prison, I decided, well, I want to use my experience with addiction and get to substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders. I wanted to learn more about that, but just didn't know exactly what way and what I wanted to do with it. But so that was kind of my mind frame when early on in prison. And then I get there, and there's a lot of people like me, first time in prison, not really knowing what they wanted, what they're gonna do. They already have the stigma that we're felons, and what's out there, the possibilities seem limited, and you talk to some people that are on their second time, and they're very negative. So it just was kind of difficult in the beginning. But the FCI that I was at, they did offer a lot of vocational schools, but I wasn't really so much interested in vocational schools like HVAC and woodwork and whatnot. I wasn't interested in any of that. So I want to take some college correspondence courses, and there weren't too many to offer, and the resources were limited, right? Again, this is 2018, and when COVID hit, now there was no resources. It was nothing. It was like double lockdown for us, right? And so I had to deal with that. And then in 2021 of November, a few days before Thanksgiving, I ended up in a halfway house here in California in Van Nuys. And there, again, it's my first time. I didn't know how these things work. So I get there, and the staff seems a little overwhelmed, and it's understandable. A lot of people coming in and out. They kind of set the rules, what's going to happen, what they expect from me there. So main thing was to get your, identification card and then get a job. So they had this cork board with all these different resources that you can go out to get once you get your ID. So I said, I got to November, I got my ID, I'm a veteran, so I got VA care like right away. And then I went out, I looked at that cork board and I read and seen a few resources, right? And after seeing that, I kind of wanted to just run out right away, since I was getting everything online, getting everything ready to go. But it doesn't work like that, right? In halfway house, you got to just take your time and kind of think about your steps. So that was helpful in a way, because I thought things out exactly how I wanted to get things done, take advantage of the resources there and systematically kind of knock them out. So I made a school priority for myself, right? I wanted to go back to school and see what I could do with the as a substance use disorder counselor, and they had it at Pierce College. So I was like, okay. So I went to the Department of Rehabilitation and met my counselor there, Brenda, who was empathetic and just more than willing to help me out. After I told her what I wanted to do, she kind of laid it out for me and said, hey, you know what? You're covered, Migral. If that's what you want to do, we'll take care of your books, the tuition, we'll even get your laptop. That's what you want. And I remember just thinking, wow, I just, not having much money and resources, I felt, and I just couldn't stop smiling after she told me that. I remember just smiling, like, this is working out for me. It's not totally destroyed. I feel a little more part of the, as a citizen here. And so I got that done. And then at cork board as well, I seen a resource for like resume building and job placement, which is the Center for Living and Learning. And so that was my second stop, right? So I go in there, and I just wasn't ready to meet these people there. They're all, system impacted, really attentive to your needs, just willing to help you out. I was a Milo, Veronica, my case manager Leslie, who now that I'm case managing, I kind of emulate how she handles things and how she did things for me. Just keep me informed and help me out with so many different things. Lisa, the supervisor there, and Alex, the executive director, just all about giving a hand up, So I just was so impressed at how they treated me and how well things went. So we got the resume started. I kind of told them what I wanted to do, and they were going to help me out. And then January, like 15th of this year, I get asked by the halfway house to get my to confirm my release address, because I'll be placed on federal probation. And that was another one of those moments where I couldn't stop smiling, because I was like, man, this is a whole year before I was supposed to get out. Now I can actually do what I want to do and get where I want to be, and without running through all these loops of asking for permission to do this, that, and the other. So I was excited. I was really happy that things were working out the way they were. And so I got with the Department of Rehabilitation, and they told me, hey, if you find a school close to your release address, let us know. We could probably still help you out, which they did. It was the Los Angeles Institute of Drug and Alcohol Counseling. And so they covered that tuition, helped me out tremendously with that. Easy transition. And so then I talked to my case manager, Leslie, and told her my situation about me leaving the area. And Lisa, as nice as a woman she is and caring as she is, she reached out to LARRP, her resource there, and got me an interview as an intern, which I'm very grateful for. Still to this day, Lisa really helped me out there. And that intern didn't start right away. There was some time involved there. But I did a little research. I looked up LARRP and I see what they were about. And I was very impressed with all the resources and what they were doing for the community. And I was like, I couldn't wait to just get in. While I was there, I came across another organization there, Peer Support Project Network, Project Return Peer Support Network. And they had a mental health first aid course there that when I looked at it, I was like, man, it looked pretty demanding, right? So here I am fresh back in my environment, and I was looking for some things to keep positive, keep going. And I see this class that they're offering, which was 3 nights a week for 2 months, 4 hours of class, right? I thought, wow, that'd be pretty good to get into. I'm already doing my other course, right, as with LA alcohol and drug training on Thursday. So I thought I'll just take this on since I'm not working and see how this goes. And it was like such a good decision. I almost didn't get into that class. I got in kind of quick. I was gonna have to wait another like 3 months or something like that, he said. I can't remember, but I got in pretty quick, got in the course, and it kind of filled my time, and it was perfect. It just seemed perfect. Everything was lining up, and I got to meet Jason, I didn't notice he's on the screen right now. Jason, Nia, Maria, just everyone there who got this virtual class together. They all took part in this. It was just a great experience to be part of, really starting to help get me out of this mentality of like hopelessness and like, oh man, I'm just destitute, I'm a felon. But it just really helped out tremendously to get to this point. And then and so I get my internship, right? I get the interview with Juliana and Caitlin, and got to meet them. And then they decided to let me on board, and I met, Anthony and Charles and Evelyn, Sean Paul. I met Sean Paul at a rally in front of the jail in the LA police station. That's where I met Sean Paul. I met Mr. Troy Vaughn virtually, and just be part of the organization for the little time I was with them was such a good experience, such a beneficial thing for me to be part of, and to be exposed to all the different resources. I got to cater to some of the people that were getting their expungement done and share their joy and happiness and overcoming these little things. That was really, it really was a good thing to be part of, and I appreciate that so much. And then yeah, it was a good experience. I really enjoyed that. And I found out I could vote. Charles told me I could vote, and that made me feel more included. Like, I didn't know that. I guess I was the last one to know too, because every time I tell someone that, they're like, they already know. So so I was like the last one to know that, but I found out and I felt more included, you know what I mean? So that was great. And so now that my time was up with LARRP, they actually extended it because I kind of forgot such a good time at LARRP. I kind of forgot that I had to be working in the field that I'm going to school for, right? So I kind of got lost in that. And so they extended me a month. Lisa was nice enough to do that. And LARRP was nice enough to have me on board for a little longer. And so I took advantage of that. And I contacted my instructor. I reached out to him, Mr. Doyle, at where I'm going to school at the Los Angeles Drug and Alcohol Institute for Counselors. He reached out to Long Beach, Tom Redgate, Memorial Recovery in Long Beach, BHS, and they got me on board. So that's where I'm working right now as a case manager, working with withdrawal management patients. And during the day I work, or during the morning I work with the residential, I have a light load with them. So, and here I am now, like it's January, here I'm doing this, and things are coming together, and it really doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like just by accident, you know what I mean? It just seems like, man, this is what it's supposed to be, you know? And I've never, even with before all this has happened, I have never been so comfortable in my skin. I've never felt so part of this world, you know? So it's not over too. So I thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening to me. That's where I'm at today. I'm going back to City College. I actually talked to them last night. About to start some classes there for to transfer to university. I'm not set on it just yet, but I just want to get ready just in case I do decide to do that. And I'm also looking into maybe one day opening a sober living and providing the support that I received, if not better, for people that are coming out. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
McGraw, I just tell you, brother Perez, you are, man.
Thank you.
This is why we do what we do. Like,
yes.
This is it. If this don't root you and ground you, and you, I hope you got the theme for the day.
Yeah.
The power of educating people about their right to vote, how we get out and engage. People coming home still don't know that they have a right to vote, putting them in a position to understand what their rights are,
Sure.
empowering them in their own voices, going out. You are an example, a shining example of why we all do what we do. And why this network is important. Starting off as Center for Living and Learning. I know Alex is over there. I can't see her, but I'm sure she was over there. She go right there dancing, and you know, her team coming and anchoring and you, putting you in LARRP, and all of our partners. This whole thing. This is why we come together. This is our strength, y'all. This is what makes us invaluable to this work that we're doing, because when we come together and we put all our resources together, there's nothing, I mean, nothing we can do.
Yes.
And this is what the people coming home need. They need to be able to see us, those that have been impacted ourselves, people with lived experience, doing this work, raising our voices, coming together, let them know that they're not alone. So when they come home, they land this way. So you, my brother, thank you. You got tears in my eyes. My heart is soaring because once again, you know, you're full proof of why it's important for us to keep doing the stuff that we're doing.